Well, we're still excited about last night's victory, and we're working hard as a staff to try and get a game plan, get some information. Last night was the first time I had an opportunity to see BYU play, so there's not a lot of time between the match and the next match. So we're burning it at both ends, trying to come up with a plan.
Okay, questions for either the student athletes or coach. We'll have a question on the front row.
Lee Feinswag from Volleyball Magazine. Dominique, what did Coach Rose tell you when he recruited you and talked to you about coming to Penn State?
He's a very straightforward guy, always has been, so he tells it like it is, and it's one of the main reasons why I wanted to come to Penn State and play for a program like this. But he wants a winning tradition in Penn State, and that's kind of what we've tried to uphold, so I know coming to Penn State I wanted to win and I wanted to work hard doing so, and I knew I could do that under him.
But what did he tell you?
Do you like winning? He said, I can remember when I was 14, he said, what's your best skill? Passing, setting, or winning? And I said, I'd like to win. So that's the one thing I can always remember.
What's it like to play for him?
Sometimes it can be hard because he drags, he expects the best out of you and he wants the best out of you at all times. But when you take a step back and look at it, you wouldn't want it any other way as a college athlete. You want someone that's going to drive you every day and make you better. So I appreciate that as an athlete.
If it's okay, as long as I got it, because you both are going like this, So either of you.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. He's got high expectations for the team and for us as individual athletes. And like Tom was saying, as an athlete, that's all you can want is someone to push you every day and, make you the best that you can be.
Haleigh, you want to respond to that too?
I just think Coach doesn't settle. Like, when you know that you can always give more, he won't accept it. Like, if he knows that you can be better and you can take that next step and you can give, even if it's just 1% more, he expects that of you, and then you indirectly expect it of yourself. So.
Well, a rebuttal of all this talk about me, it's not about me. It's about the players. It's about Penn State. We're all doing a job, and we all have different institutional expectations or personal expectations, but I thought Dom and Megan were the best two players on the court last night. And Dom flies under the radar for a number of years, and we've discussed that, and we go back to a conversation, obviously, that she remembers that I don't when she was 14, where we talked about the value of winning versus the value of statistics. So I've said to her, and I think I'm right, but I could be wrong, is we'll see at the end of your career if somebody wants to look around the country and see if any libero had a better winning percentage or had a bigger impact on their teams over that same 4-year period. So, I'm a really big fan of Dom. I wouldn't trade her for other people's liberos, and her and I have discussed, her limitations. She's presented my limitations, and we've moved on from that.
Got another question on the front.
Why did Tom Tate leave, and did he have any advice for you in 1978?
Well, 1978, and some of these people, even the older people, weren't born in 1978, right? Tom was a really bright guy, and I think his intent, and this would be my assumption since I wasn't there at the onset, was to start a women's program in hopes of getting a men's program. And as soon as he got his men's program, he was out, because he was a tenured professor teaching exercise physiology and a very well-respected academic on campus. So I think that was, I don't know if Tom truly enjoyed the early years with the women's team, but I think he really embraced the men's program and is still actively involved in USA junior men's volleyball programs every summer when they go abroad. He's always either the head of delegation or somehow involved. So I think Tom he had a good plan. He was a bright guy, and I certainly enjoyed my time, where we could interact when he was still working at the university before he retired.
But did he have any advice for you? Did he hand you a full cupboard, empty cupboard? What were you flying by the seat of your pants then?
Hey, I was, I was just turned 25 years old. I was just, I just got a job. I was happy to have a job. I didn't know what I didn't know. So I didn't have an office. I didn't have a telephone. I didn't have anything. All right. I had, 16 or 18 classes to teach a year, no assistant coach. I thought I had a good deal. So
What'd you make?
it came in at about $14,000. Got a $400 raise after my first year. Was feeling good.
Questions for coach or the student?
I keep going all
Go
night
ahead.
today, unless anybody's got anything else, Do you still teach?
I teach one class now.
What is it?
It's in ethics and issues of athletic coaching, which I usually start with a disclaimer for the students. So. I think Don was in my class.
Question about halfway back on the right.
Darnell Dixon, the Daily Herald. For Dominique, can you address, obviously when you prepare for BYU, you got to prepare for Jennifer Hampson, but what else about the Cougars did you observe that you guys feel like has made them successful and you'll have to counter?
They're a very strong team. Obviously, they've worked their way to get here, and they deserve to be here. So that caught our attention. They play hard, and they're resilient. So I think that's something that we really noted. And they have some pretty tall players up in the front row, so that's also something we've noted. And like Coach said, we're going to come up with the best game plan we can and go out there and fight. It's our last match. Some of us as seniors, it's the last time to wear those jerseys, so we're going to go out playing hard.
Question on the front.
Russ, when you see a young guy like Sean Olmstead, I hate to say this to you, but he's almost half your age. Do you have any thoughts about that? You ever put any perspective on it, or are you too focused in on what you're doing?
I mean, I just met him for the first time a couple days ago. There's a lot of young coaches, he's got a really good team, as Dom said. And they beat Arizona, they beat Nebraska, they beat Texas. That's Florida's. They beat some really good teams. It's a pretty good indication that it's not a question of their seeding. It's a question of your placement in the tournament, and they've done everything that's asked of them at this point in time. I think they're a really talented team for sure.
You're not going to bite on the old guy, young guy thing for me?
I mean, because that would have been like yesterday. John's the old guy, I'm the young guy. So we're not going to hit it yesterday. I don't think we should hit it today.
Got a question on the outside right.
Dave Neely, BYU Radio for Aiyana and Haleigh. How do you prepare for and plan to attack BYU's block?
I'll take it first, I guess. I think the best strategy for that is to avoid it as best as we can and try and hit high and work our way around it. I think swinging into the belly of the block, as Coach would put it, is probably not the smartest way to approach our match tomorrow. So, like I said, just try and avoid it as best as we can and keep the ball high.
And then speaking as a middle mostly, I really just want to focus on holding their middle so I can give my outsides and the pins an opportunity to really hit one-on-one, open up more shots for them, and just work hard in transition so there's more shots again for them, and then getting one-on-one in the middle as well.
Question on the front.
All right, this one about you, by you, for you. You've now moved to the top of every list after yesterday. Okay, you're the winningest coach. You're separated in this environment and everything. Can you talk about that a little bit? It's more than just, being there a long time. You do well year after year after year.
So what the players do. I've been fortunate that the university's allowed me to be who I am, and I haven't had to play games to make other people happy, that I could do my job the way I want to do it, and if we go a different direction and somebody wants something different, then that's how it is. It happens to coaches every day. So So before I came to Penn State, I was accepted at BYU to get my EDD. So I received a teaching assistantship. I was ready to go. I met with the resident bishop, and then I got the Penn State job. So, do you remember Glenn Potter, former basketball coach, BYU? Anybody? Yeah. Well, that was my guy. You know, just a long time ago. You guys are young guys, so you know, I had it all worked out. And the Penn State job came along, and I'm a big sports guy, and I'm a huge fan of Coach Paterno, and being a physical educator, we had some of the top physical educators teaching at Penn State. I thought it was really cool to go to a place where I had read their books. And, you know, I've been there for 36 years. Oh yeah, now you want to talk to me.
Well, just a quick follow-up. What exactly were you going to do at BYU?
I was going to, you know, my mentor was a guy named Jim Coleman, who was, I believe, good friends with Dr. McGowan, and you know, he went there over a short period of time and got an EDD, and I thought that would have been humorous to have. So that was it. But then I got the Penn State job instead. So, but I've taken my team. We've been there 2 or 3 times to BYU, so I like it there.
Coach, would you say it's at all tough to press the team to meet some of your higher expectations even when they aren't playing well?
Well, I mean, the goal is to be the best you can be while you're doing something, and you know, I think life's competitive, and I maybe provide some of that when they want to rest on their laurels or somebody else's laurels. It's easy for them to look back and say how great somebody else has done, but what have you done? And you know, I don't look at that. I look at you know, BYU, you know, they're leading the nation in blocking. So we have an hour and a half of practice between the last match to talk about what we're going to do, and get in the gym and try and figure out what we can do to impact our will on them, the same as they're going to do what they do to impact what it is we're trying to accomplish. So at this point in the season, when the players look everywhere and there's a logo that says 2014 Women's Volleyball Championship, I shouldn't have to be talking about anything. You know, I was puzzled at practice yesterday on why some of the players were even there. But, you know, that was yesterday, and hopefully today, so, you know, they'll be better.